So many people show up for this, and I know so many times we associate Democrats on the left with the ones pushing gun control, and for so long, the right, the conservatives and the Republicans have caved to the left as well. And I want to remind everybody just to be just as upset when conservatives and Republicans cave to red flag laws, to raising the age of purchasing a weapon to 21. I could go on about all the things they've caved on. You could probably find a lot if you searched it, but I just want to remind everybody just to be just as upset about both sides pushing for gun control. Thank you.
Thank you. My name's Ray Ford. I live at 1661 Dale Street, Newton, North Carolina. I'd like to thank every one of y'all, all of our police officers who go out here every day, protect us. I want to thank y'all. But I think making this county a sanctuary is the right thing to do. Taking our arms away from us is not the right thing to do. This goes all the way back to our constitutional right. I mean, this is something that was given to us that shouldn't be taken away. But as gun owners, we need to take the responsibility to protect that right and to protect our guns and watch what we do with them. I've seen many gun owners go out here and sell them, to whoever. That's wrong. We need to protect who we sell them to and watch and be more careful. But we need to keep our county a sanctuary to protect the innocent people out here that need guns to be protected. Because if you take our guns, the only people that will have them are the crooks. And that's the only thing I got to say. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Timothy Willis. I'm from 3377 St. James Church Road over in Newton, North Carolina. I'm up here as a 33-year-old who's lived in this county for almost all of his life. I went to school in Maiden. I grew up around here. My dad took me hunting. And I want to tell you that in this county we have a strong history of being hunters and responsible gun owners. And I don't think that that has anything to do with the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is about protecting yourself and your country from anyone who would seek to persecute and harass you. And in that name, or in that vein, I would ask that y'all make this a Second Amendment sanctuary county, because as a county, we can stand together and resist outside forces from influencing the heritage that we have had as hunters, as sportsmen, as American citizens, and as members of the revolutionary militia who founded this country by helping fight against British soldiers in this very state and in this very area. That is something that goes back so long, and I want our county to stand behind that heritage and our rights, and ensure that gun rights are for everybody. Whether you're black, you're brown, you're Asian, it doesn't matter. If you're an American citizen, you should have the right to bear arms. You should be given you should be given a fair trial where you have the right to represent yourself before those arms are taken away. And you should be allowed to transfer your guns to your friends or family, or let your neighbor borrow one if somebody's sneaking around their house in the middle of the night without having to go to a gun store and pay a $30 fee so you can lend somebody something to protect their life for 3 or 4 days until they have a way to rectify that scenario. The cops do a great job at keeping the crime down, and it doesn't matter where you are, bad things can happen. I've had a gun pulled on me in a parking lot of a Walmart, and the cops can't do anything about it because it happens right then. I have a concealed carry permit now. That incident made me want to get that so I could protect myself, my family, and everybody else in the area around me from people who would seek to hurt them and put something upon them that they did not want. I thank you for your time tonight, and I hope that you will vote in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Betty Lord, 1232 Quiet Cove Lane, Hickory. which is in the county. And I know you said don't ask a question, but exactly what does the gun sanctuary resolution mean? In terms of, what does it mean?
At some point, we'll have discussion among our commissioners. I'll let you go ahead and make whatever comments you wish to make to us.
Well, as I understand it, it has something to do with not enforcing a law that might come down from the legislature concerning any type of gun restriction. That is, whether it be background checks or banning of assault weapons or some sort of restriction on gun control. That's my understanding, and I may be wrong. However, nobody, and I don't think there's anyone who would deny that we have a right to carry a gun or to have guns. The Second Amendment says individuals have that protected right. But those rights are not unlimited, and I think it's an unnecessary resolution. I think it's an unnecessary designation because we have that right as provided by the Constitution. We do not have the right of unlimited gun weapon control or gun weapon use. And if you go back to that 2008 Scalia statement that was made in conjunction with the Heller, Columbia DC, I think, verdict from the Supreme Court, they recognized the right to own guns. But they said it is not a right to keep and carry any weapon whatsoever for whatsoever purpose, for whatsoever means. And if this resolution is to defy something that might come in the future, such as a state legislative mandate that we have gun restrictions in a certain way, local governments don't have the right to supersede state law. So it seems like it's an unnecessary resolution. I am opposed to it. And I may be the only one in the room who's opposed to it.
Thank you, Mayor.
Howdy, I'm Tom Dees. I live in Claremont, Tully Street, 3322 Tully Street. So I want to address a little bit of that. This resolution makes clear to the people of the county that the county government will not spend its resources adjudicating unconstitutional laws. If the law is already unconstitutional, then it is not the county's place to enforce those kinds of laws. If the state wants to enforce those laws, they can do that. But the county government is a separate entity with its own separate resources, with its own separate jurisdiction. And so we can all respect that and still support this resolution. Now, I want to thank the board for doing this. This is one of the greatest things I've seen come out of Catawba County in quite a while. And so I'm very excited about this. But I wasn't initially going to speak today. I wanted to come up to here after receiving quite a few messages over Facebook. And I was asked to come up and tell y'all that there are 65 additional people downstairs. And when the gentleman back here asked the crowd to raise their hands over who was here to speak in favor of this resolution, every single one of them raised their hand as well. And so I ask you to endorse this resolution and pass it. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Brian Arndt, 1376 Munch Drive, Newton, North Carolina. I'm a little bit nervous, but I think we all were grateful for our law enforcement. They do a great job. But a lot of times, by the time the law enforcement gets there, they're there to write a report. And so that's why we want to be able to bear our arms and to protect our families. And for the man in Texas, he's a hero that saved a lot of people in that church had he not had his weapon at church. So we have a responsibility to protect our families, and many times we have a responsibility to protect other loved ones or fellow church members or our neighbors. So we do have a big responsibility. I'm thankful to be able to bear my arms and to protect my family. And if I hear something in the night, I'm up with my gun, you know. So if they come in my house, they're in trouble. I don't ever want to shoot nobody. I hope I never have to do that. But I'm going to protect my family. And I think the big thing is we have a lot of fear from what's going on in Virginia. I know this is a resolution and we do have the constitutional right, but we don't want to lose that right. And I think that's why everybody's here tonight, is to stand up and say Catawba County wants to bear arms. They want to be able to protect themselves. Thank you very much.
Chris Slaughter, 607 2nd Avenue Place Northeast, that's Conover. I just wanted to quickly say, I wasn't going to say anything either, but it's important to realize, I've heard a few people misstate this, but it's important to realize that that the right to bear arms is an unalienable right. It's not that the government gives us that. They just let us know that that is a right that is not subject to majority vote, nor can it be revoked by government. And I do thank you guys for making this preemptive step, because I know that's what this is, but it's important for people to realize this is not rights that are given to us by government. It's just protected by the government, because God gave us those rights. Thank you.
Jason Elder, 976 22nd Street, Northeast Hickory. I again was not going to say anything, but because of some of what was said earlier, I believe it's important to remind everybody that it only takes one time of a right being taken away that was given to us by God and then supplanted